Call the meeting to order at 11:43. Okay, first off, we're going to welcome you to the Shac meeting today. Do we have any new members or new people here that would like to go ahead and stand and introduce yourself if you would, please?
My name is Justin Russell. I'm the educator for the STAR program, STAR Plus. I can help that. If you have any questions about children's educator, about me.
Anyone else? Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the reach updates.
Wait, sir. You need approval. Minute
Oh,
approval.
thank you. So do I get a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, Becky makes the motion. Do I have a second? Okay, second. Leslie, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. All right, so you may have picked up one of the papers regarding our Reach YRC Trustee Program. It's going to be Tuesday, April the 26th through the 31st from 6 to 7:30. I do know that there's limited spots that are available. I think they're filling 8 spots. So if you know of a student that might be able to benefit, it's a lot of one-on-one with the students and being able to work with the horses. If you have any additional questions, either get with me or the contact information for Emma is listed at the bottom. I also wanted to remind everyone that we have the prescription drug take back event that's going to come up on April the 30th. It's going to be at the Colton Junior High from 10 to 2. So if you have any expired or unused medications, we ask that you bring them out there. It's an environmentally safe way to be able to dispose of your medications. We ask that you please don't flush or throw them in the trash. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I think the last time y'all did that, you had something that we could share on Facebook.
Yes, and that is coming very soon.
Okay.
That we'll have that, and I'll send it to Lisa, and she can share that with the group as well. But I believe that's all that I have. Do we have anyone from Impact that's here today? Okay. All right, so we'll go on down to Josh from the WISD security update.
Jump straight there.
Moving and shaking.
I see the East Street colors out there. I'm wearing my East Street uniform today. Good Friday. That's right. I think the only updates I really have, it was funny because I was talking not too long ago with Sally Ann Schneider from Dallas Behavioral Hospital. And she said, get ready, in April is when everything mental health wise seems to get a little difficult. She said the reason behind that is you've got the time change, but now there's more daylight and there's more, because of that, people have more energy. And we are seeing that right now. Spring has sprung amongst our children, and it seems like as that's happening, our calls for what we call emotionally disturbed people in the police department, which is kind of a mental health crisis, seem to be on an upswing right now. So that's some of the things that we're dealing with right now. That seems to be the majority of our calls. So at the same time, even though we're in North Texas, what's interesting is the police department regularly gets emails from the psychiatric hospitals saying all our beds are full. We don't have a place for you to bring children or adults. If we're talking about Waxahachie, so that's always concerning for us, and that's always difficult trying to find a place to get these kids help. And I know we talked about, last time we were here, we talked about the counselors that we have here at Waxahachie ISD, which are huge help, that right now are backlogged as well. But just kind of trying to figure out and working with different organizations about where we can get help for our students
attach the drug testing that we've gotten results from, which would have been March's. We had 0 positives that were all negative. So that's always good news to hear that. We have tested the junior highs for April, but have not gotten the results yet. We had to move the April testing to the beginning of May for our high schools because of state testing conflicts. So that'll happen at the very beginning of May. So things are going well there. COVID, things are going wonderful. Right now, we do have a sibling group in the district that is 3 kiddos with COVID, but that is the only COVID we have right now. So we are just so thankful and so happy to at least right now, to be on this side of the COVID issue. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right. Thank you.
So the next item that we have are our Shac subcommittees. We've got the coordinated school health program presentation with Christy Cuban and Marcella Bianco as the catch program.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me be here today. Actually, Marcella is not going to be able to join us, but Brian Austin is here from the CAC program. So in order to better support our PE teacher, our elementary PE teachers with a more coordinated and comprehensive and uniform program, we began searching last fall for a curriculum. Unfortunately, we found that only 2 of those, there were 2 available to elementary, and only 1 is approved by the Texas Education Agency. So we're going to let you look at those programs. Today, we have the CATCH program, which is a coordinated approach to child health. And Brian is here to talk to you about what the program offers. And so I'm going to turn it over to him.
I think he's muted. Hang on. No. Unmute.
Brian, I think you're muted if you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm following it. There's a little bit of echo effect coming back, and I wasn't sure if it was time for me to start or not.
You are good to go. Tell us what you have.
Am I good to go? Okay. Can you enable me to share my screen?
Yes, just a moment.
Is my audio coming through okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, thanks everyone for having me here today. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Brian Austin. I'm a consultant for Catch Global Foundation. As I think you explained a second ago, Catch is an acronym for Coordinated Approach to Child Health. And just 10 seconds about me real quick. I taught Catch actually for about 3 years before I came to work for Catch. So that's kind of why I'm here. And the thing about Catch that I really fell for was the environmental part of it and how engaging it is as far as interaction. And also the language of Catch was very, very important to me, for the students as well. So I'll be touching on all that as we go.
Turn it back up a little.
I'm sorry. A couple of things as far as our program goes, it is evidence-based, and science is always at the forefront. As you can see here, 120 plus peer-reviewed articles, scientific reviews. We are TDA approved as well, and we have aligned our curriculum to 100% TEKS. And obviously we're widely adopted, as you see here. I didn't realize how widely adopted we were until I actually started working for Catch and realized that not just Texas, about 50% of Texas schools that you see here, but all the way from North Carolina to California, how widely adopted we are. So, but we, big districts and small districts, we're we're out there quite a bit. So, we are a nonprofit, which tends to make us a little less expensive than others. And the good thing is, even though we're a nonprofit, we have a lot of science backing us up, and because of the university's access, but also we have a lot of doctors, with people doctored in public health and MDs that are very involved with our curriculums, and they are being updated all the time. So I'll kind of talk more about that here in just a minute. So this is, with the curriculum I'm going to show you today, I just wanted you to see that this is our formula. The knowledge, the skill, the environment equals healthy choices. The knowledge part, of course, the social determinants of health, you know, and getting to the students while they're young is the lens that we're looking through. The skill building part is one of the pieces that I love so much, though, because there's not a whole lot of lecture in our lesson side. Yeah, I mean, we have to do the dissemination to a certain extent, you know, to give them that knowledge, but we focus just as much, if not more, on how to use it. And that's the interaction I was talking about, and that's the skill building I'm referring to. And then the environmental support, I'll go over shortly about our coordination kit and the health journeys alignment itself. But really, our program is designed where it gives the school and community the ability, if they want to use that catch language and that catch mentality, if you will, everywhere. So an example would be like our catch language of go slow, low foods, and go slow, low activities. You know, we teach go slow, low foods in the classroom. We teach go slow, low activities in the gym. And then we give the coordination kit gives parent resources so they can be using that same language at home. And even in the school system, like the lunchroom, can actually label the foods go slow, low. So, you know, the terminology kind of becomes, I guess, a social norm, if you will, for the students. And we feel like that's a very important part of this as well. So it's not just something that they're hearing in one room once a week or twice a week. And we have a lot of programs. The nutrition and health education was in the classroom, that's K through 8. Our PE is also K through 8. As far as mental health and SEL, so we have two different options, well, really not options, we have two different ways of doing so. Number one, we have SEL integration in our PE curriculum. It's actually a specific piece of that curriculum that helps guide teachers and students to integrate SEL in with their PE curriculum, that's whatever they were teaching. But we also have SEL Journeys, which is just SEL, and that's also a part of this package. And it is an amazing program. It actually incorporates a lot of dance in it from other cultures. And it brings a lot of cultures into the classroom so we can see how others in the world are living and what they're doing. It's a really great program, and with access, all of you are going to have temporary access to all of this, so you'll be able to check that out. On the right-hand side over here, substance misuse, catch my breath, our oral health, and sun safety. We have written a grant through CDS and Discovery on these. And they are evidence-based, they are line boutiques, at least these two are. Sun safety is not a line boutiques, but it's still a great program. But substance misuse and oral health are. But my point is that all of these are evidence-based, they're fantastic curriculum. I actually taught Catch My Breath for a while in 13 different counties, and that is the only vaping prevention evidence-based program out there right now that SAMHSA actually considers or classifies as prevention education, that can be reported as prevention education. So I could talk about Catch My Breath for an hour, but I won't do that to you. But it is a great program. Substance misuse is K through 8. Catch My Breath, the vaping prevention program specifically is 5th grade through 12th grade. So just so you know. And then the Catch Up with Smiles, as you can see, is K through 2, the Sun City K through 5. So we offer a lot of programs, but the most important part about them is there's connectivity between them all. They all work with one another for consistency reasons. We have a very holistic approach. These are designed, as you can see here, PowerPoints, videos, scores, and visual aids. However, it is not set up for a student to log into Catch. It is set up for the educator to log into Catch and teach it. So, like when I was teaching Catch, I would be in the classroom and I would have the lessons up on the screen from the PowerPoints. But each session, each lesson comes with a teacher's guide to help you prepare for that. There are digital handouts that can be printed out, cut out, used. I'll go over that with you, but it's all set up and it's extremely easy to use. I actually used Catch in the classroom before I was trained, which probably wasn't supposed to do, but that was kind of back in the day a little bit. And but I found it very easy to get started and to teach it. I think I literally practiced about 1 hour before I started teaching Catch in the classroom. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the integration of SEL into the physical activity as well. So, and in the whole child coordination kit, I will show you how that coincides with the health journeys itself, which is the teach alignment. So, like I said, everything is 100% visual access. With that being said, we do have hard copy material available if that's something that you would be interested in. Anything can be printed out, but we also have through Flaghouse, if it's something that you may need, activity boxes for K through 2, 3 through 5, and 6 through 8. And the activity boxes, you know, they're nice for the gym and that kind of thing. And if maybe you're in a situation where internet's not available, or computer's not available, or it's just using a laptop at the time is not convenient, those are available as well. So we have those if you need them. And just real quickly here, you can see how we've aligned our self-critiques all the way from physical health and hygiene to injury and violence, and then the PD, the movement patterns, all the way to lifetime wellness. The only thing that we do not offer is sex ed or reproductive health. And this is something that we can look at later, but this is a kind of a general package price that we have here. The one on the right for $14.99. It's everything that we just looked at, which I'm going to go into so you can actually see it. But the only difference between these two prices is the one on the left for $19.99 includes trainings. If they're not required, but they are available if that's something that you feel like that your school district will need. All right, so if, do I have a few more minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to just, I would like to go just into the website here real quick. So I'm just going to, I'm going to start from scratch here. I'm going to catch.org and show you exactly what you will see. So when you come to this here, this green bar up here that says let's go, that's what you click on. This is our main page here. If you go to let's go, I'm going to sign out so you'll see exactly what I would want to see, or what you would see. This is the screen. You'll come to sign in or sign up. It's free to create a Catch.org account for every educator. You do get a lot of demos and that kind of thing, and you get immediate access to Catch My Breath, substance misuse prevention, oral health, and sun safety. So you'll have that stuff immediately once you create your account. But with the link that I'll give you all, you'll be able to use that link when you sign up, and that'll give you temporary access to health journeys, which is what's aligned to speaks. When you go into the sign up, all you'll do is click on sign up, click on educator, first, last, email, create a password, state, which school district, which school, what your job title is, and what grade levels that you think apply to you. Once you do that, you just sign up and you'll have your account. Now, I'm going to go back in here, I'm going to sign in, because I already have an account. And all of these windows that you're about to see are, don't let that scare you, but I have access to every single tiny thing that Catch has ever created, so that's the reason I have so many of these. But I wanted to touch on some of the curriculum without too much of your time. The knowledge part, you know, I talked about knowledge, and talked about skills, and talked about environment, so that's kind of our three big pieces. I kind of want to give you an example of each of those. So I'm going to go into first grade, we'll start with. And I just want to show you just a quick example of what it's like. So first of all, this will be the way it's lined up for you. So the right-hand side will be your content, the left-hand side will be your menu for that grade, for that lesson. Except if you go down to lesson 1, you'll see there's two options there. The first option is an educator's guide. So that tells you exactly what you're going to be doing that day, all the materials that you will need, and then it gives you a timeline, how many minutes, the objectives, the whole works. As far as the materials that you'll need, anything highlighted in green is printable if you want to. You can stick with digital if you want to, that's fine too. But you have the option. So you can see I just clicked on that one. You have the option. Once again, this is first grade. So you can cut these out and use them with the students if you want to hand them out. There's a story for this particular lesson as well. You could go digital with it, or you can print it out for the students to use at their desk if you want to use it as well. So you get the idea. The actual presentation slides, they always open in Google Slides. And then under File, you have the option to download those as a PowerPoint or even as a PDF if you want to. I always download them as a PowerPoint. It helps me a lot. I don't have to worry about internet, you know, if the internet was to go out, that kind of thing. It was a little different for me though. I was bouncing around 13 counties and I don't even remember how many schools. So always have internet lined up and that kind of thing. It wasn't so easy for me. The only thing that I would suggest is that if you do download any of the lessons into a PowerPoint, if you were going to use it again in say a month from now, you probably want to download it again because one thing about our programs are life sciences at the forefront, like I said earlier, and we stay evidence-based and remain evidence-based because we update our curriculum all the time. So that's just one recommendation that I have, just from my personal experience. As you can see here how the lesson would be laid out, you immediately get to go in with the students and explain to them what to expect for that class period and what the outcomes and objectives are going to be. And then like I was talking about earlier, almost immediately the kids get engaged. And that's the thing that that's one of the things I love about it. When I was first started in the school system, I was just presenting basically for an hour or 30 minutes at a time, and there wasn't a whole lot of engagement. With Catch, that changed a lot. So you see here, immediately the conversation starts. How do you feel you're healthy? What happens when you're not healthy, and how should you celebrate health? See these cutouts that were coming up earlier, they get to know these characters. And in this lesson here, more of the knowledge piece, they get to learn about go activities versus low activities. I think there's a stoplight coming up. Yeah, there's a stoplight right here that goes slow and low. And what they do is they get to go through and have a conversation with, is this a go or a low? That would be a low. That would be a go food. And that would be a go activity. So you get the idea. That would be a low food. So it's very engaging, like I said. And I wanted to, let's go down to this one really quick. It'll take another second. And here's another, I just want to give you another example of the knowledge piece. So we start teaching them about juice and soft drinks. And we recommend, you know, if you can, to bring sugar in the classroom and do this yourself, but you get the idea of what they get, the visual they get here. With 1 carton of orange juice, 4 teaspoons versus 16 teaspoons equivalent in a large soft drink. All right. Now, as far as the skill part goes, I wanted to, actually, I would like to go into, catch my breath for just 1 second. And I wanted to kind of show you an example of skills, skill building that we have. I'm very passionate about catching my breath. I was into nicotine prevention for 5 years as a prevention coordinator, so, but I'm crazy with that, I promise. But I'm gonna go into 6th grade, and once again, you have the educator's guide.
Ryan, if you could, we're just looking at this through 5th grade. So if you could.
I'm sorry.
We're just looking at this through for elementary through 5th grade, so if you could give us more of a 5th grade example, that would be better.
Oh, okay, thanks for telling me, I'm sorry. Yeah. Let me jump back here. There we go. All right, so once again, like session 1, Catch My Breath, is mainly about knowledge. With this one would be considered more of a unit, so like the nutrition, the SEL, the PE, all of those are really going to be spread out throughout the year. Catch My Breath and substance misuse, if you use those, they're a little more of a unit, so they are 4 35 to 45-minute sessions long. I always taught them on Friday. The health and PE teachers would have to come in one Friday a week for 4 weeks. That's how we did it. And that's how the peer review, evidence-based piece of it, that's how it was reviewed as evidence-based. But that's not a requirement. But once again, it's very engaging. We always broke the students up in groups, so if there were 20 students, we would, break them up into 5 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 5. And they would pick a speaker, and they end up peer facilitating. They don't realize that's what they're doing, but that's what happens, with our guidance. So once again, they jump in pretty much immediately in groups and get to start working together and reporting out. The knowledge piece, once again, they learn about dopamine, the brain, what self-regulation is, why students want quick, easy, to reach for something quick and easy sometimes for coding. They get to do ingredient investigation in each group, so that's another example. And they get to report out on that. Now in session 2, that's more of the skill part, right? So they start learning like why would students do this? What reasons would they continue to do it? And then refusal skills, exit strategies. They get to do a ball toss in 5th grade. I actually did this one in 6th grade one time. They had a blast. But as you can see, they toss the ball at each other, and whoever catches the ball has to immediately come up with some type of refusal skill or strategy. They had a real lot of fun with that. So, and then this is an example of a homework assignment. It's very short. It only takes about 15 minutes, but they actually could go home and interview an adult and ask them what challenges they had in middle school or even elementary with nicotine. Were they ever tempted, and how did they handle it? And they get to bring that back to class with the option, to share if they want to. Now I wanted to go to the environmental piece real quick, which will be 2 things actually: coordination kit and health journeys. And so the health journeys, and I keep mentioning that is kind of that will be the main menu. So the way that I'm looking at it right now is not the way that you will see it like if you purchase the program. It'll be more like this. This is kind of a preview example of what health journeys will look like. But everything that we just talked about will be in health journeys on this menu. And as you can see here, it's got the nutrition, physical activity, physical health and hygiene, mental health, SEL, substance misuse, same say, but all of it will be in health journeys. This is not complete yet. We're still lining it up for the next school year, but that's basically the health ed journeys is going to include everything that we were just talking about. I do want to show you real quick this curriculum map. This kind of is a map or schedule for the year. And with the coordination kit, which I'll show you here in a minute, we have these main points: see, catch, hear, catch, do catch, and engage for catch, and then celebrate. And then we see how that lines up across with health journeys, PE, and SEL. And as you can see here, it gives you the week number that you're working from. So it helps you create a schedule for your school year. And the coordination kit allows you to do that every 6 week period, or if you have 9 week periods, you can use those as well.
Does anyone have any questions for Ryan?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Is there a question?
I just asked the audience, does anyone have any questions for you since you're the expert?
Maybe you should come over here. He can hear you better than hear me.
It's okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, the audio is not coming over very well to me. I apologize. And then the last thing I want to show you is the coordination kit. And that's also part of the package. And as you can see here, it breaks it up in semesters. So see, catch, hear, catch, which is what we just looked at. Do and engage the catch. And I'm running a little slow here, I'm sorry. So I'm going to lock up on me a little bit today. Well, let me just go back in here. I'll show you this example real quick. Just one more minute. Perfectly.
Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just asked the audience if they had any questions, and I don't think we do at this time. If there's not anything else, I think that's all we'll need. We really appreciate your comprehensive presentation today, and we'll be getting back with you.
Okay. I apologize. There's a lot of echo coming into the room. I'm so sorry. I can't hear better.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
we appreciate your presentation today, and we do not have any questions at this time, so we will get back with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
I do want to let the audience know that you guys know that the PE teachers have been given online access to the 2 programs we've been looking at. I've gotten feedback from them. They like both of them. So perhaps later we will get together and do a presentation on the other.
Yeah, I think so. It's undetermined if we'll do that in May or not. If we can, get that together and get that presentation at the May meeting, which I believe is the 5th. Yeah, May 5th. We will do that. If not, we may not have a May meeting, but if we're able to get some more information and have another presentation for you, we'll do that in May. Okay?
Okay, the next item that we have is the child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking update with Jennifer and Leslie.
So we had a presentation on March.
So many things have happened since then.
We had March 20th, Monique of her foundation presented to our subcommittee And then we also had
The, Love 146.
Love 146, we want to get it right. Becky, you're shaking your head. We did it right. So we had both of those presentations, they presented to, we had 13 members of our subcommittee here. There were also 5 from the Midlothian Shac committee that heard the presentation. We would like to take any questions at this time, Leslie and I, about those presentations. We were able to speak with the owners and founders of the company, so maybe we can help answer some of your Shac questions. You, the general committee here, we can help answer if you guys have any questions about those two that we got to see.
And also, if you were there that night and have any, anything that you'd like to say about either one of the curriculums, now's the time to kind of share your thoughts.
Looking at me.
Becky?
I was at the subcommittee meeting, and I really liked the money for curriculum. For one thing, I talked with Ginger about this, is it reminded me a lot of the human sexuality curriculum that we use. So I think that's kind of cool, and that, you know, that type of format is very familiar. And the organization seems to have the same sort of values of transparency as Choosing the Best as well. We were able to go to their website and review curriculum, look at everything, videos, PowerPoints, the presenter's side of information, and there was nothing controversial in anything. It was just really very well done. I enjoyed the videos. They're entertaining. I think it gives them really like that. So I really liked that program. The other one, it just had some red flags for me as far as the language that they used and that sort of thing.
The Monique Bird does use, it is more of what we're used to when we speak of how we present to our students with videos, interaction, lots of goal setting. It's not just presenting on these topics that are sometimes pretty heavy for students to deal with. So they incorporate those into teaching the strategies to avoid these things, but also in their own personal life of how to set goals, to choose friends wisely, things like that.
One of the challenges in timing a curriculum that could cover all of the, we have some curriculum that was very heavy on child sex trafficking, which I think that was kind of what we were picking up on the 11.6. It didn't do a good job of covering all the topics that we wanted, and like what the dating violence, making sure that those aspects are in there, family violence, just in general child abuse, all of the different types of child abuse, and the child sex trafficking. When it because of the way that they are addressing the different areas in this kind of generalist, protective way, it seems to hit all of the areas better than the other curriculums that we found that were much more pointed. That makes sense.
Ms. Cunningham, do you want to speak on the counselor side? I see my other counselors are busy. They're on the campus, so.
I had gotten yesterday access to that other one. Did not get this morning, did not have time to look through it. I was listening to what Becky said, and I kind of echo everything that she said, and I think the other counselors, you know, I know Midlothian was there, and we had the Choosing the Best that we do that is so great, and then they didn't have that, correct? So they were wanting that curriculum and had all the lessons. So were we talking about just pulling out more of the human trafficking out of that one, if we decide to use that one? If Midlothian and Waxahachie adopt the same one, now are we trying to do something that's like countywide or make rural other districts also? Is that what you said, we'll all have the same one?
Well, I proposed it to Ennis to make rural. We're working on make rural. Becky and I are working on Shac there. And I think if we could get consensus that it would be better countywide, or at least for the secondary. Midlothian they may need the lower grades and the higher grades. So we can purchase the higher grades, you can purchase the lower grades or both. But just to let you know, it would be an investment from the CAC of about $3,000 to cover all of the grades. So we would be able to provide that for WISD and MISD and NSISD.
And we wouldn't have to as a district, because that is one of the things I heard that night from my elementary counselors. They use Play It Safe for their personal safety program, and they want to keep that. So, and the law is for secondary, it's for 7 to 12.
So then Waxahachie ISD would more focus on the secondary.
With the money
Okay.
or the one, either one.
I just got the feeling we were covering a little more stuff in those areas Midlothian had not adopted as much as Waxahachie had. Was that correct?
Because in choosing the best, we do cover daily violence, we cover, oh gosh, some of the other ones. Safety, yes, so we are covering parts of those but that only goes up to our 9th grade. So we can strategically put, places where we need to. The other thing that I can say, because my counselors aren't here, the one thing that they preferred with the Monique Burr is it's only 2 lessons versus the other one is 8 lessons. So getting into classrooms is already difficult. So
I heard that too.
I was able to be there that night as well and heard the presentations. I'm sorry. I always get fussed at because I don't talk loud enough, so I'm trying to. But sorry. Anyway, but I really did like Becky said, how it was very cohesive with our sex curriculum, with choosing the best. Also, I like the focus on just making good life choices, making good decisions, because not only in the area of your sexual health is that important, it's important in every area of life. And it empowers these kids and educates these kids in a way that it equips them to make good decisions overall. So that was my takeaway from it. And I'll quit talking, turn off my microphone.
any other questions that we can? I think you have to. I think you would need to call us into action, right?
Can I just stand here and do it? Okay, so we need consideration and possible action to approve a recommendation to the Board of Trustees for curriculum materials related to human sexuality instruction. So it's choosing the best. So do I have any recommendations, action items? Do we want a motion?
Yeah,
We need a motion.
I think that we continue with choosing the best as our program for human sexuality.
Okay, Melissa made the motion to continue that. Do I get a second? Okay, Martha Cunningham. All in favor? Okay, any opposed? All right, then it carries. Okay. The second item is the consideration and possible action to approve a recommendation to the Board of Trustees for curriculum materials related to the prevention of child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking. Can I get a motion? Oh, yes. Okay, I have a recommendation for the Monique Burr. Do I have a second on that one?
So is that, Ms. Cassidy,
Is that
your motion?
That's your motion? Her her recommendation and motion. Okay, do I have a second? Okay, Sandy Fawcett. Okay, and all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and then it carries. Okay, well, I also need a motion to adjourn our meeting
Well,
for
and
today.
I'll just say,
Sorry.
I'll just, for the purpose of your information, and I'm sorry to interrupt a motion to adjourn. I don't want to keep anybody from the rest of their day, so please don't feel falsely imprisoned. If you want to leave, go ahead and go. But just so y'all know, thank you very much for taking this action. And at the upcoming meeting of the Board of Trustees on May 9th, that's the next meeting of the Board of Trustees, this will be then presented to the board for action so that curriculum can then be obtained. The choosing the best, that just maintains what we've already got, and we have had a good experience with it. But thank you for the recommendation for the Monique Burr Foundation materials on the prevention of child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking. The board will then expected to take action on May 9th, and then we'll be able to get that curriculum for the upcoming school year. Thank y'all.
Okay, so before I get a motion to adjourn, is there anything else that we need to cover? Sorry. Okay, so now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. And second, all in favor? Okay. Well, Josh, okay.